episode of Mnn. We're anchors Shay Gilbert
and Benjamin Mills.
This week we have quite a bit going on. Monday we don't have anything going on, but on Tuesday the elementary 5-county speech is at Arapahoe.
And Wednesday there is a junior high and high school 5-county at Clinton. Also, the Merritt Little Cheer Camp will start on Wednesday and go through Friday.
Thursday there's nothing going on, but on Friday there is a powerlifting meet in Arapahoe, and the 6th grade field trip to the Space Museum at Weatherford from 9 to 2:30.
On Saturday we have a high school basketball game with Burns Flat and Dale City. That'll be here, and it is homecoming. There's a pep rally the day before on Friday at 3 o'clock during school, but then homecoming is actually on Saturday in the evening after the 6:30 game. And there will be a little cheer camp demonstration at halftime, so that'll be fun.
Very fun. But let's get straight into it. Austin, with your weather.
Thank you, Ben. On Sunday, we'll have a high of 59, sunny, it won't be that cool. On Monday, we'll have a high of 49, times of sun and some clouds. On Tuesday, we'll have a high of 41, mostly cloudy and it'll be a little windy. On Wednesday, we'll have a high of 42 and it'll be mostly sunny. On Thursday, we'll have a high of 50 with plenty of sun. On Friday, we'll have a high of 46 with an abundant amount of sunshine. And on Saturday, we'll have a high of 50 with brilliant sunshine. This week is going to be a pretty warm week. Go out and enjoy the sun. Thank you.
Thank you, Austin, for weather. Back to you with lunch.
Thank you, Shay. For lunch on Monday, we'll have a corn dog, mac and cheese, and green beans. On Tuesday, we'll have mini meatloaf, loaded mashed potatoes, and a dinner roll. On Wednesday, we'll have chicken and noodles, roasted carrots, and a dinner roll. On Thursday, we'll have Mexican flatbread, refried beans, and chips and salsa. And on Friday, we'll have cheeseburger, tater tots, and a garden salad. And throughout the week, you can have fruit and the choice of milk or water. Thank you.
Thank you, Austin, for lunch. Looks delicious. Now it's time for Kinsey with your sports.
Thank you, Ben. On Monday, we're going to have 5th and 6th and 7th and 8th grade basketball at Sayre. On Tuesday, we're going to have high school basketball here versus Cheyenne. On Wednesday, we have no sports. On Thursday, you have 4th grade and high school basketball here versus Hammond. On Friday, we have 4th grade and high school basketball at Sentinel. And then on Saturday, we have 4th grade basketball at Radom Festival and high school basketball here versus Burns Flat Dale City. Thank you.
Thank you, Mackenzie, for sports. It's time for your interview with Amber.
Hi, my name's Amber, and I'm here with Ben for the weekly interview. So, Ben, how long have you been on robotics?
I've actually been on the robotics for a full of 3 years. This is our 3rd year this year. We started as an after-school program that was just like a little club that we kind of got together, and we decided, hey, we're going to build a robot. But we didn't really do that great in competition because we didn't even get it running until we actually got to competition. So then we said, okay, we need more time to be able to work on this. This needs to be a daily work process because we want to take this seriously. So we created a class out of it. It's 7th hour now, and we have a whole lot of fun. We actually have a really high-scoring robot this year. It's made about, 300, 400 points a game, and that's really important for us because, we couldn't score, but maybe 10 points a game the first year. So that's a big jump for us to be able to up our coding levels, up our engineering thoughts, and stuff like that. I know that one of your questions was today how many members we actually have on our team. When we started out as the after-school program, we actually had about 6, 7, 8 members maybe. That's not even a full team. Full team is 10 members. This year we actually had 32 people sign up, and we had to turn some away. But 8 of us right now in the class are seniors, and so when we leave, that's going to leave 8 slots at least opened up for juniors and sophomores and people coming up through the ranks.
What's the name of your robot?
The name of our robot is Stellan Panzer, which is actually Wally. He is absolutely in love with tanks, and so Stellan Panzer is German for steel tank, and so we just decided to name it that.
And who are your coaches?
Our coaches are Mrs. Mooney and Mrs. Pepper is our main coach.
And can you tell us about state and what it means to you and your team?
Yes. Now, state is not what you would generally think of state for a normal team of sports or something like that, because generally you have to be in first or second place in a tournament in order to move on to the next tournament and the next tournament and make it up to state. Well, in robotics, not necessarily. You can win in first and second place in the tournament, actually get to go and to state, but there are others that get to go. So there's a Connect Award, and that Connect Award is like an award given to a team that really connects with their social environment, and so really does a lot of community outreach and really does a lot of things for the community. The other awards would be like the Innovate Award, which has somebody whose robot is really sophisticated, has a lot of bells and whistles and all kinds of this crazy stuff. It might not work the best, and it might not want one that actually will, but it looks amazing and it has great aesthetic and great design. And so that Innovate Award, those people go to state, and there's a few other awards that are kind of like that and can send you to state. You have a portfolio as a team that is a collection of all of your days of building the robot. And with this collection, if it's done right, you can actually go to state just on the portfolio. You don't even have to have a robot that necessarily does a good process, just as long as you have fun doing it and you have a good experience from it. Because a lot of kids at state, well, actually there's a team called Medusa, and they dress up like Medusas every year. They have these togas on and the headdresses that's got the snakes and everything, and they're really fun. I mean, you meet a lot of friends and stuff like that. You talk to a lot of people. There's just different aspects of this than other sports that just makes it wonderful. So the first day of state, since it's 2 days, is actually we go and we tour the college at SWASU. Since they have an engineering program, they host the state tournament. And because they host the state tournament, they automatically want you to kind of tour and give a free tour to the kids that come. The second day is actually competition. You go into the area and you start competing with one another. But yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Amber, for your interview. Now it's time for everyone's favorite
Wally Talks.
Hey guys, welcome to Wally Talks this week, and I have just a few things I would like to say. So first of all, we have January 25th. January 25th is National Opposites Day, so I mean, that doesn't really need explaining. Everyone knows what that is. Next thing we have is January 27th, and this goes in hand with what I'm going to talk about after this. So January 27th, this is International Holocaust Remembrance Day. If you know what the Holocaust is, that's about World War II and the genocide that Adolf Hitler tried to do, and he tried to eliminate a whole race of peoples, the Jewish community. And it was just terrible. It's an awful thing. There was over 8 million Jews that were killed because of somebody's ignorance and their hatred. So, I mean, it's just something that everyone around the world, because of such an awful event that took place in history, that we all sit and we all just try to remember and think that that does not happen again. And what I want to say that goes with that is January 31st. That is the end of the Battle of Stalingrad. The end of the Battle of Stalingrad on the 31st, back in 1943, World War II, was whenever the Allies had, mostly just the Russians, they had stopped the Germans. It was their first victory in the war against the Germans at all. They stopped them at the city of Stalingrad, which is named after Joseph Stalin, who was the dictator of Soviet Russia. And the Russians, it was such a bad battle. Like, the casualties were so high. It's actually the highest in the world out of all war history at all. It lasted 5 months, one week, I think, and a couple of days, I think 6 days. And it claimed over 2.2 million lives in just that amount of time, which is a phenomenal number for that short amount of time. There was people fighting every single type of rural environment that you could think, and every urban environment. basements, stairwells, building to building, streets, alleyways, literally everything you think of inside of a city, it was fought there. And it was so bad that the, how do you say it? It changed hands who was winning like 14 times between the Russians and the Germans. And they all had an order of no retreat. Nobody could leave the city, including civilians and children. Nobody could leave, or otherwise you would be shot and executed, along with the soldiers. And the soldiers had such bad attrition. There was, the average lifespan of a single soldier was just 24 hours. And it was so bad, even cannibalism became a thing. People were just dying left and right. It was so awful, and nobody could leave until the Russians finally won, and the Germans of the 6th Army there finally started surrendering, and they eventually lost the Battle of Stalingrad, and that eventually started the beginning of the end of the war on the Eastern Front. That's all I wanted to talk about, and I wanted to say, just remember to take a second and remember what all has happened and transpired in the past, and just learn from it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Wally, for Wally Talks. It was very interesting this week, the Battle of Stalingrad going on. I know that you're passionate about World War II. So, we want to thank you guys so much for tuning in this week, and we hope that you're liking it, and we're glad that you keep tuning in. Be sure to keep watching, keep us updated, and we will keep you updated. Until next time, this is Mnn.
Signing off.